These videos have been possible with the help of those that support me on Patreon, so thank you guys for your constant support, and if you want to support me, you can click on the link on your screen right now, or click the link in the description below. Thanks a lot.
Hello everybody, my name is Tyler Valle, and this video is called Consistency is Key, and it's called that for a reason. Now, I didn't write any of this down, this is just shit that I've been seeing, so this is one of your old school little rambling rants, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But this one just has me a little bit more pissed off than most of the rambles that I've done as of late. This is called Consistency is Key because I'm seeing people who've had pretty consistent points of view change their tune for the dumbest fucking reasons imaginable. Now, there's two major cases and two major examples that I can talk about with this. One of them being social autopsy. For those of you who don't know what social autopsy is, I'll just give you the very brief rundown of it. It was a website that was getting kickstarted to help people dox people who they don't like. Obviously, that is not what they were going for, or at least in my opinion, that's not what they were going for. But they were basically creating a website that would attach your real life name, face, address, place of occupation to things that you say online, even if you say them anonymously. This is a website that was trying to combat hate speech and doxing and harassment on the internet, but honestly, it was just going to be a tool that was used to exasperate it. This is something that people across the board seem to have realized. And when I say across the board, I mean across two major camps. And these camps may make you groan, may make you cringe, but they do exist. Gamergate and people who were formerly supporters of Gamergate and anti-Gamergate. Basically people who are still anti-Gamergate, because just like people who are in Gamergate, they can't let it go. Now, across the board, it seemed that both sides hated this until Social Autopsy claimed that the people who shut down their Kickstarter and basically shut down their ability to raise $75,000 for their doxing website was anti-Gamergate. So what did they do? They got in touch with Gamergate Powerhouse and the leader of it at this point, the Ralph Retort, who, I want to make this very clear, whilst I do not like him as a person, I do not like his writing, I think he's a genuine bully who doesn't give a fuck about any of the people who support him, unless he can use them to continue to prop himself up. I'm just putting that out there, I'm putting it out there very vocally, that's where it is. But honestly, I don't hate the guy. I don't like him, and I don't blame him for what he does, because he's allowed to continuously do it. If I was in his position, I would use Gamergate the way he does. Social Autopsy approached Ralph Retort, or Ralph Retort approached Social Autopsy, and he's writing fluff pieces for them now. He is writing articles and doing videos and interviews and stuff with them, getting them over onto his side. And people are supporting this. People are supporting Social Autopsy now. A website that a week and a half ago, everybody vilified because everyone thought it was shit, are now supporting this website and what they're doing because they are going up against Zoe Quinn, Randy Harper, and the anti-Gamergate crew. This is fucking ridiculous, and it's inconsistent with the views that I would hope Gamergate would hold. And at this point, it goes to prove that Gamergate doesn't hold any of these opinions anymore. They don't care about any of these opinions anymore. Any of the principles that they once held. Once everybody with a fucking brain and a conscience left the movement and left it to the people who were too radical to let it go, they're willing to do anything as long as they're willing to get people on their side, no matter who they are, and fight against the people who they don't like, no matter really who they are. If it goes against Zoe Quinn and Randy Harper and Andy Sarkeesian, I almost guarantee you that they would get a fucking convicted felon on their side to do it. They've already got a guy who's an admitted stalker, who stalked people who on their side and have routinely defended him. Now, granted, a lot of people don't like him anymore, but they did. And for quite a long time, defended this guy. And some of them still do. Some of the louder names still defend this guy. They have people who they've been defending. It was the guy who was the peddler of revenge porn, who, again, no one seems to like him at this current point. But that guy was there for months and months, well after Gamergate lost its relevancy. I want to make that clear. So this guy was in their group, in their clique, and up until recently. These are the kind of people that they're willing to side with, as long as it's to go against people that they have a problem with. Now, at this point, you're probably thinking, I'm 5 minutes into this. Tyler, you say this consistency is key, and this is only one example, and it seems to be only your personal opinion, your personal bias against the Ralph retort. I want to make this clear. My opinion on the Ralph retort is very, very apparent. I am totally fine with people knowing that I don't like him, because that guy has made it clear that he doesn't like me and many of my friends. Totally okay with it. But again, I want to make this clear. If they had not approached the Ralph retort and had approached somebody else in Gamergate, or someone else who speaks for Gamergate, example, uses Gamergate, but say if they were to approach someone who I actually enjoy, like Mundane Matt, as a person, I want to make that clear. I like Mundane Matt as a person. Don't really care for his content. But I like him as a person. If he were to approach Mundane Matt about this, one, I don't think Mundane Matt would have actually followed through with that, with the interview. And I don't think he would have fluffed them the way that they have been. But if they would have approached him and he was to have done exactly what the Ralph did, I would still be against this situation. I want to make that very clear. This has nothing to do with Ralph, and has everything to do with the principles of the people who are still supporting Gamergate and have supported Gamergate since the beginning. At this point, Gamergate was a fucking mistake. And I genuinely believe that. And if you're a Gamergate supporter and you are a diehard Gamergate supporter and you don't think that I should be saying that and you want to call me a cuck or a social justice, whatever, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But I fucking hate what it's turned into. It is a fucking train wreck. Now, again, let's get back to it. Tyler, you said this consistency was key and we're only talking about one thing. Cool. We're going to talk about something else now. Now, this isn't exactly into Gamergate, but this is into the Gamergate side of things. That's really fucking just infuriating. I have made it very clear on my channel and on my Twitter account that I absolutely fucking hate needless race and gender changes in fictional characters for no fucking reason. I hate it. I hated the fact that Idris Elba was signed on to play the Gunslinger in Stephen King's The Dark Tower series. Even though I like Idris Elba as an actor, I think he's awesome. I hated female Thor. I hate it almost every single time they try it. There have only, I think, been 2 different instances in comic books where they've actually changed the race of a character or of a hero. Changed the race of a hero, not a character, a hero, or a gender of a hero, and I was totally okay with that. And that was with Kamala Khan being the new Miss Marvel, and with Miles Morales being the new Spider-Man. Because they are their own characters, they're well done, and they're awesome, in my opinion. I love Miles Morales, and I love Kamala Khan. If you were to follow me on Twitter for that fucking 2-week period where I was just gushing over how much I fucking love the Miss Marvel comic, up until I realized they were doing Civil War 2 and she was involved with it and it's being written by Bendis and I know it's going to be fucking trash. She-Hulk gets killed by a rocket. I fucking still don't understand that. You would know that I like that. But what I fucking hate is needless character changes to draw up controversy and draw up interest in their the failing paperback comic book franchise. Fucking making Hal Jordan gay, and making Hal Jordan an Arab guy who has Arabic in green glowing letters on his arm, wears a fucking ski mask, and even though he has the Green Lantern ring, which allows him to create anything he wants, he still carries a fucking handgun around. The fucking Power Girl, who was the black chick, who didn't look like Power Girl at all, which makes no sense because Power Girl is just an alternate reality version of Supergirl, and we all know what Supergirl looks like. She's a white girl with blonde hair. She's a white girl with blonde hair. Power Girl is Supergirl. It's the same fucking person. It is an alternate reality version. It's an alternate universe version. It makes no fucking sense. But I digress. Okay, now let's get back to the main point. So I just want to make that. I want to make that clear that I fucking hate race changes. I have for fucking ever. I think that they are needless, especially when they're needless. I actually cannot think of a race change that was not pointless in any fucking way. Excuse me. So, we get into the topic of the first screenshots coming out of the Hollywood adaptation of Ghost in the Shell, where Motoko Kusanagi, Monique Kitcher is being played not by an Asian actress, of which Hollywood does need to put into more movies, but it's being played by Scarlett, stiff as a fucking cardboard, Johansson. A woman she is a terrible. This is wrong for so many reasons, and I just want to lay out a couple of them. One, Scarlett Johansson is not hired because of her acting skills. If you want to sit there and pretend that she is, you know you're lying. I'm not going to fucking take the time to argue with you on it. She's hired because of her looks. Look, if you're into that, even I, who don't find Scarlett Johansson attractive, can tell you that she is a good-looking person. What she has does not appeal to me personally, but I can see where other people find her attractive. But she is not a good actress. She has the same dead, fucking boring expression on her fucking face every time she acts. It's so infuriating. Her lips never completely come together. She has that fucking stupid ass, like, furrowed brow thing going on. I hate her. She looks brain dead when she's acting. And two, Monique Kitcher. Monique Kitcher. Okay, so I may get flack from a lot of people for this, but I honestly believe this. Hollywood is way too white. But I'm not saying that you should needlessly shoehorn in minority characters into films. Again, but when you're making a Hollywood adaptation of not just any Asian like anime, but Ghost in the Shell, one of the most influential and important fucking things to ever come out of Japanese media, just maybe when you have that opportunity to have a character lead in that film who is not white, you should take it. That's what I'm arguing here. Fucking, there should not be a Monique Kitcher. It should be Motoko Kusanagi of Ghost in the Shell, a film that could star anybody who's not white. Honest to God. Not just not white, but it should have been a Japanese actress. It should have been. If you wanted to get fucking, like, simple, you could have gone to the Pacific Rim fucking casting and hired the actress from Pacific Rim. Now, I want to make it clear that this is not just my yellow fever speaking, but I would have loved to have seen Rinko Kikuchi in this film. She was great in Pacific Rim. One of the best parts of a great film. And she could have easily played the role and no one would have had a problem with it. People would have been happy to see a Hollywood film get made with a female actress, and it would have maybe just shown us just a little bit that you have any respect for the source material. Now, I'm just going to read a few tweets for you as comes from Jon Tsuei, who works for Image Comics. And if you don't know who Image Comics are, check them out because they work on my favorite cape shit comic ever, Invincible. One of the best. Go and read it. It's awesome. Easily the coolest cape shit comic out there. Jon Tsuei actually had tweeted about this a couple days ago. I just want to read you a couple of his tweets. They'll be popping up on the screen, maybe, if I fucking remember. I seem to always say it's something that's on the screen and I forget because I'm fucking lazy and I'm stupid. And I don't think back and I rarely ever come back and listen to anything I say after I say it once because I don't want to change my opinion. What I'm saying right now is my true, honest opinion. So if I remember, I remember. If not, go and check out Jon Tsuei. He's at Jon Tsuei. That I will put in the link down below. I will make sure to add that in. And if I don't, you'll let me know and I'll add it in later. But he tweeted about this on the 14th. Hey, okay, I have some thoughts. Bear with me if you would. I've been seeing a lot of defenses for ScarJo casting that seems to lack the nuanced understanding of a Ghost in the Shell as a story. The manga came out in 1989, the first film 1995, an era when Japan was considered the world leader in technology. Everything hot in that era came out of Japan. Cars, video games, Walkmans, all of that. Japan was setting the standard. This is the country that went from poised to conquer the Pacific to forcibly disarmed. They poured their resources into their economy, and as a country that was unable to defend themselves, but was a world leader in tech, it created a relationship to tech that is unique. Ghost in the Shell plays off all of these themes. It is inherently a Japanese story, not a universal one. This casting not only is the erasure of Asian faces, but the removal of the story from its core themes. You can westernize the story if you want, but at that point it is no longer Ghost in the Shell because the story is simply not Western. Understand that media from Asia holds a dear place in the hearts of many Asians in the West simply because Western media does not show us. Ghost in the Shell, while just one film, is a pillar in Asian media. It is not simply a sci-fi thriller. Not to me, not to many others. Respect the work for what it is and don't bastardize it into what you want it to be. And guess what the fucking picture he tweeted out was? It was a picture of Rinko Kukichi. Just like I said, she should have fucking played it in the first place. I'm not even kidding when I tell you this right now. They were trying to create CG to make Scarlett Johansson look more Asian. This is how far they are willing to go to try to get that Asian appeal without actually hiring an Asian person. This is changing the race of a character who has a pre-sitting race. And the thing that I want to get to, the consistency point, is I'm seeing people defending this and attacking the people who were upset about it. Why? Because SJWs, social justice warriors, social justice retards, social justice morons, social justice useless sacks of human flesh always get onto social media and they act all triumphant and they're all so happy when a white character is changed into a minority. But when a minority is changed into a white character, these same people who cheer for the diversity and they cheer for the changing get on the internet and they throw a fucking tantrum. So, because social justice warriors are upset about Scarlett Johansson being cast into a character who is Asian, these people are being attacked by people who, for example, were upset about Thor becoming a female. They were upset about Idris Elba being cast as Roland the Gunslinger. They'd be upset about any fucking other race change of a white character to a minority. But they're defending a minority to a white character just so they can get back at the social justice people. This argument is stupid. It is inconsistent. It makes you look like just as much of a fucking moron as this guy who tweeted out, making a white character a POC undermines white supremacy, while making a POC character white reinforces white supremacy. This stuff isn't hard. That is hypocrisy. And you know what? You people who are arguing from the opposite perspective, that it's totally wrong to make a white character a POC, but it's totally fine to make a POC character white, you are just as fucking stupid and as hypocritical as that guy is. And if you follow me and if you watch me and you argue from this point of view, quit. Done. Never again. I don't respect that opinion, and I don't respect you for holding that opinion. I say a lot of things on this channel that if I was to go back and watch, I probably wouldn't hold that opinion now, or I wouldn't hold it as fervently. But one thing I do try to pride myself on, at least a little bit, is being fucking consistent in my arguments and consistent in my beliefs. And I have been consistent from day fucking one. I've been consistent since I was able to first really sit down and critically think about race and race relations. I don't like it when a character's race and gender are changed for no fucking reason. I don't like it when their sexuality is changed just to pander to a fucking bunch of people who don't care in the first place. Who the fuck is happy about the Ghost in the Shell casting right now? Who? Other than Scarlett Johansson fans, who they have to be fed with a fucking spoon and they have to wear a fucking helmet anyway, so who the fuck cares about those people? Who likes this casting? You have so many opportunities. This is one of those things. Because Scarlett Johansson is cast into this character, into this role where it should have been a person of color, there's going to be a white person there's going to be a white character down the line, again, who's going to be cast by a person of color, just so they can offset the balance here. Look, and I'm not arguing that if they were to make the character Japanese, it would make Ghost in the Shell a good film. Hollywood has no track record so far that I can really think of where they've taken anime and they've actually done it in a fashion that wasn't fucking insulting. But it would at least shown that you were at least trying to stick a little bit to the core principle of what makes Ghost in the Shell, because most people who are going to go see that film, or would have wanted to go see that film, were going to be Ghost in the Shell fans. This is actually one of those times where, like, I don't lay in bed depressed that we never got that Cowboy Bebop movie with fucking Keanu Reeves playing Spike. Spike Spiegel, by the way, is not a fucking Japanese guy. Spike Spiegel, plus would have been played by a guy who was also going to produce the film, who's also a humongous fan of Cowboy Bebop. That's why I was excited for it. Honest to God, that's why I wanted to see it. They had a chance. They had a chance here to cast a fucking person of color, and they cast a fucking white person. This pisses me off to no fucking end. But what makes me even more upset about that stupid casting choice is the people who are honestly defending it. You have no fucking grounds to defend it other than the fact that you're making fun of the social justice idiots who are also upset about it. Look, a broken clock is right twice a day, guys. When you are on the same side of these fucking people, you shouldn't immediately take the opposing side just because you don't like them. Whether it's with the casting choice on Ghost in the Shell or if it's with Social Autopsy. Have some consistency in your points of view. The moment I saw consistency was going out of the window with Gamergate was the moment I was fucking done with it. And the fact that I spent so much time trying to help you guys out, and you guys were spending so much time helping me out, admittedly, and I spent so much time fighting for you guys. It feels fucking wasted that this is where it ended up. This is where it stops. Someone needs to take this fucking thing out to the back of the fucking shed and kill it, Old Yeller style, because what it's at right now is a horrible, horrible, horrible monstrosity of what it used to be. Jesus fuck, guys. And for those of you out there, I just want to make this clear in closing, and for those of you out there who agree with me on this subject, I'm glad that you guys agree with me. I'm not going to say share this video, but at least I hope I at least like the fact that you are consistent in your views. That's all I ever ask. And for those of you who disagree with me, but can at least take the moment to consider my point of view on this one, thanks. But Jesus Christ, guys, I'm fucking getting sick and tired of getting onto social media and seeing this bullshit on my fucking Twitter feed. A Japanese remake of a fucking Western movie is not the same as a fucking adaptation of a Japanese medium. The remake of Macbeth with Mifune in it was not Macbeth. It was a movie that was styled like Macbeth. This is Ghost in the Shell, called Ghost in the Shell, starring Motoko Kusanagi, even if her name is Monique Kitcher. She looks exactly like her, and if they were willing to go through on CG to make her look Asian, why not just cast a fucking Asian person? How stupid is this shit getting? That's all I gotta say. Let me know what you guys think on social media and down in the comments below. Remember to like, favorite, comment, yeah. And I'll see you guys next time. And even though I'm really pissed off, even some of the people who are subscribed to me, I want you all to know that I want you all to have a great day. See you next time.